Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ener-She Podcast, where we have conversations, never competition. Well, welcome to the Ener-She Podcast. I am your host, Adriana K. Granlund, here with my amazing and incredible co-hosts, Crystal Finna, and of course, Karen Shirley. Today, we are diving into, guess what? Something really deep and personal, powerful, and honestly, sometimes can be really complicated. Female friendships, relationships between women. From loyalty, trust, jealousy, healing, boundaries, sisterhood, and support, to the silent wounds that women can carry from friendships that shape them. We're unpacking it all. So, because the truth is, relationships with other women can either become one of the safest places we land or one of the deepest places that we hurt. So today we're having real conversations. What makes female friendships thrive? What do some friendships become? Like competitive or painful? And how do childhood wounds, self-esteem, and comparison affect the way that women connect with each other? And how do we build healthy, empowering, soul-safe relationships with other women as adults? So let's get into it, shall we, ladies?
Do it.
Diving in. I was ready for Crystal to be like, Dad. All right. So let's power up with question number one. I've got, what did female friendships between women look like for you growing up? Mhm.
Like for us or for like what we saw in our parents? Or both?
Where are you feeling taken to? That was good.
I don't want to be taken anywhere.
Take
Neither. I don't want either of those options. Is there a third?
I'm sorry, friend. There's only third base. But
That's only third base. We're sliding on into hope.
I'll let Karen go first.
Oh, thank you.
So thoughtful.
Ladies first.
Female friendships for me look well, I struggled with friendships. I was pondering these questions earlier, and what came up for me is what I noticed is that throughout my young childhood, that I always had like one really close friend that I hung out with a lot, and I never felt like a part of the group of friends. I always felt different, and I always felt separate. And so I had a hard time trusting other females in that dynamic because for whatever reason, right? I didn't fit in. And so within that, there was some teasing that happened, some bullying that happened. But like I said, I always seemed to find that one friend or maybe two that I connected with, that I felt safe with, that I was able to almost like latch on to have some connection with. But even through that, that one friend would be friends with the group of friends, or and then I would get separated in some way. So as I grew, I knew a whole bunch of people in all the different cliques, but I wasn't close to like any of them.
Totally.
You know, if that makes sense. So
It totally does.
But I would still have that one or that two really close friendship. And then like an array of, I don't know,
Friends. Like
friends.
Yeah.
That
Same.
That were my friends, but
they were like the at school friends, and then
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Like we didn't hang out like other than when we were at school, but you always have that one friend or two friends that you were like super close to, that you would spend the night or call on the phone and talk about real things. Yeah. Mhm. Samesies. That's the same for me. Actually, one of my childhood best friends, you guys, watches the show, and a shout out to Mandy. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Mandy girl. She was my best friend when I was 10 and 11, and we did things like we went to Great America. We were in Bluebirds together. Yeah. Did you
I was in
you were in Bluebirds, Bestie?
what?
I swear you're my soul sister. See
I was in
how
Campfire, just saying. I was in,
Yeah.
the
Bluebird
real
and
one.
Campfire is the same
the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're one of us.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of us. One of us.
we never called it Bluebirds. We always called it Campfire.
I think
Yeah,
I mean,
Campfire Girls.
it's the age group that you're in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
I was in
also
it from
played-
like 6 to 13. Yeah.
We were in Campfire Girls. And I
That,
came in
we were legit. That's way better than Girl Scouts. Just saying.
100%.
to quit. Hey,
Hey,
Mhm.
hey.
Yeah.
Right?
It
But I
explains a lot,
love-
actually, right now. Everything's fitting together.
It's like no wonder we all chime so well. We just
Yeah.
get each other. I love this for us. But her mom was our leader, our campfire leader. hmm And she and I would have the best conversations. We would go play by her pond, and we at my house, at my house, we'd have these slumber parties. She was notorious for having huge slumber parties. I was notorious for having huge slumber parties. And but she and I always had just such a great connection together. Right. And then, of course, as you get a little older, right, I think, what was it, seventh or eighth grade, she and I just drifted apart, right? But we always stayed within the same friend group. But then I, had another shout out to my friend Melissa from grade school as well. And these women have stayed in my life though, like in some shape, form, or fashion since then, right? Whether it be Facebook, social media, right? Messaging each other in Messenger. But my other best friend, and then like you, Karen, I always have that one friend that I just kind of latch onto, and that would be my friend Kristen, and we've been friends since we were 15 years old, and she's been one of my best friends since then. And then and throughout this time, and then as I got older and then got clean and all the things, and she's still in my life to this day. And then I meet my bestie at my work she became my work wife, Miss Karen here. And then it was like besties, right? And here we are, right? And it's just that one person that you feel that deep connection to, that you can tell anything and everything to. This person will tell me when I'm right, she'll tell me when I'm wrong. She will we could literally call each other at whatever time. She's the person that would help me bury the body. You know what I mean? And be like, who, where, what? So, and vice versa. What? Hack stay, 3 lefts to the right. And we have our own language. So, like, that's the piece, right? And then I have other friends that feel like I'm cool with everybody, right? But this is the person I could literally tell everything and anything to. So I'm very grateful for those all the relationships that I've had in my life, because they create who we are today and how we learn how to trust. And for me, it's how I've learned how to understand that love does exist through through other women. That it can, and it doesn't have to betray you, and it's trustworthy, right? And it shows up for you. It's happy for you. It cheerleads for you. It lifts you up when you're down. It speaks life into you when you feel like you can't. Yeah. What about you, Crystal? Do tell.
Yeah, female friendships for me as a kid were difficult. I had all brothers, so I was more used to boys than I was girls. I knew how to not use my words, but use my hands.
Mhm.
When I was young, I was really sporty. I was out. If I wasn't riding my bike, I was throwing a ball against the garage,
Yeah.
playing basketball, playing tetherball, anything sport I was doing. So, let's see, looking back, I also always had like that one friend, but my like first childhood friend was a bully, but like it was like she could bully me, but other people couldn't, kind of
Yeah.
vibe. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that as a kid. You don't realize that you're like in that position as a kid. And
Yeah.
so I was just talking to my mom about it. She's like, "Yeah, I used to worry about sending you to her house. Like, is she gonna come home?" And I was like, "Why didn't you let me go?"
Yeah.
um uh and so I think also like as I got older, um I always had like like I had always had friends, but I
Mhm.
always chose like one friend and I gravitated towards. And I feel like as a kid looking back, like I had consistent friends who were just like always in the background
Mhm.
and were actually really good friends that I like for some reason didn't give my attention to, but they
Mhm.
were like more consistent than who I would pick. Right. So it's like the
Yeah.
beginning of my bad picker as a kid,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
Picking the ones that like didn't make me feel great, but like I was drawn to for some reason, right?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
not liking the ones who like not liking, but not gravitating towards the ones who were like, "You're awesome," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I don't like that,
Mm.
you know.
Right.
Um, and then through high school, I have like a really complicated. It's not complicated. It's every girl knows it. You know the. I mean, maybe not. I don't know, but I think I had like my high school best friend, and I was figuring out that I was a lesbian. You know,
Mhm.
um, and so I was like, there was a lot of crossover and feelings and emotions between in that friendship for me, right? And so so it just made it complicated, just made it super codependent. We were trauma bonded. Like we felt like
Mhm.
you're my person, you're the only one who gets me, you're the only one who knows me. It was very like
Yeah.
built up this like hero vibe that I carried for a really long time where I just always wanted to be the hero and
Wow.
was just super unhealthy and codependent. And
Mhm.
so that led into just the last like 3 years ago, kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, it was complicated to say the least. But I
Mhm.
will say, like, because talking about campfire, like that was a place where I always felt safe.
Yeah.
Like that leader's house and the girls that were in that group, like they were weird. And like I could be weird. And like we did weird things and we sang songs and we made things and it was never like judgment. There was never like, and so I do think that like built a piece of who I am today. And I don't think I
Mhm.
like realized that until we were talking about it just now. That
Yeah.
like that for me throughout my whatever was happening in my house. And I look back at like the adults that were in my life that probably knew what were going on, but
Mm.
it didn't make me feel a certain way about it, you
Yeah.
know? And
Right.
so yeah. But yeah. And then
Friendship.
friendships is yeah, it's been complicated. And I'll say like being a lesbian codependent, trying to find female friendships has been it's always made it messy.
I love that you just looped all of that in there. You're like, it's almost as if you were gonna pitch it like
Yeah.
online or like in like an ad and you're all lesbian, codependent, searching for female friendships.
Like
Like,
long walks on the beach.
yeah, desperately seeking Susan.
Yeah. Well, I mean it's right. Well, it's
Right?
made it like now that I'm older and I've like worked through shit and worked, in code and all that, it's definitely
Mhm.
different. But like looking back, it was, you know, not
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
I totally hear you. Thank you guys so much for sharing your
I'm
truth.
sweating.
A little bit.
Literally sweating.
She was like,
I'm
God,
feeling
okay,
prickly, guys. I'm feeling prickly.
Did anybody go to Camp Minalooda through Bluebirds or Campfire?
no,
No, I
I
did
did.
camp with Stahi. No, not with Stahi. That was later in life. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I came in late. I came in late to Bluebirds and
What
Campfire
was it
Girls.
called? Camp what?
Camp Minalooda.
Mm. Well, you did all the fun things,
I
friend.
don't think so.
I
We
went to
yeah.
Christian camp. That was my that was a good time. Yeah.
Did you do Christian or not?
A lot, a lot was happening at camp for
Someone
sure.
else was seeking Susan.
Ah!
Mm. You guys are so funny. You know, it was so, there was something that you had sent me, Crystal, where you and I were laughing about it so hard. And I think it was from the Giggly Squad, where she was talking about how in high school, the friendship group, where it was like you'd given like a boy a hand job and you were so afraid that your you might be pregnant because,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, you might be pregnant because I think he came. And it
Yeah.
was like, who could tell? Right. Because I gave a hand job and now we're doing pregnancy tests in the bathroom. Right. And it was like, and I was like, me and my friends not only did that, my friend group, right? Because we had a crew, but like we were doing drugs together too. Right. We were doing drugs in the bathroom. Somebody had a pregnancy scare, like, we were going through some shit in our teen years. And so to have that one friend, right? I think it almost set us up for the future of that one friend that we would also have to rely on in our later years, because we're gonna go through some shit, and you gotta have that one person that that you can rely on just to gauge your crazy, right? Bestie, say it. Talk about it. Go ahead. What?
Gauge my crazy. Listen,
Talk about Gage crazy. Someone's got alien eyes over here. We're talking
wait.
crazy.
What
Right?
I've realized is that I'm not crazy. That everybody else is just like me.
That's it.
What I realized in my travels, right, through these past years is that I'm not that crazy. I mean, like I
Right.
go through some shit, but that there are so many other women in my age group that go through
Mm-hmm.
the same exact thing. And if it wasn't for my wide base but within that wide base, I have that close knit uh handful, and it even gets
Mm-hmm.
even smaller, if it
Yeah.
wasn't for that deep connection, then I wouldn't know that how normal the crazy actually is, you know?
Yes.
So
For sure.
I'm really grateful for that,
Mm-hmm.
for the connection that I have with other women. And I feel
Absolutely.
really bad for other women who don't step out of their comfort zone, because there's so many, of course, I'm gonna say Narcotics Anonymous because that's where all my friendships come from, majority of them. I
Mhm.
might have one or two outside of that, right? But if it
Right.
wasn't for the connections within Narcotics Anonymous, I wouldn't have the luxury of this, right? And I hear
Right.
people say, "Well, I don't trust women, they've all stabbed me in the back, I prefer to hang out with men and all the things." And I feel really bad for them because they just don't,
Yeah.
they don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm really not sure where I was going with all that.
Well, actually, I was going to bring that in because that's a really good point that you make, where women oftentimes talk a lot about, like, I can't trust other women, right? And where does that come from? Right. And so it was leading into my next question. So it's perfect, right? What have you ever experienced betrayal from another woman that deeply impacted you? And how did that impact your relationships with women?
Yeah, well, all throughout my life, just the backstabbing, the bullying, the bullshit that I went through with bitches, fucking
Mhm.
mean girl bitches, right? And so
Mhm. Haters.
yeah, and so it took me a long time. That's why I felt safe with just the one or two. And then but through recovery, I learned something different.
Yeah.
So it's about, for me, it's about stepping outside my comfort zone. It's always about stepping outside my comfort zone, trusting the process, doing something different, doing something new. And then also in that, people watching others, seeing how they treat others, seeing how, if they talk about others, and getting a feel for how they treat watching how they treat others, and then that's how I gauge who I want to associate with. You know,
Hmm.
and then I invite people in to be a
Right.
part of my life to
Absolutely.
keep
Love
keep
that.
myself
Thank
safe
you.
because I'm a safe person, you know.
You
So
are.
and so I mean that's huge for me. I want to create safety for others, and I want that for myself. So I'm really
Hmm.
picky on who I allow in to my circle, my close knit circle. Even if my
Yeah.
base is wide. I'm really choosing on who I allow really into me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And that's absolute truth. And I love that. I love that and that's it's important that we do gauge, right? As in women, we have been traumatized, through other women. And unfortunate piece, sometimes when it comes from in your own household, could be your own mother, right? Your siblings who betrayed you and hated on you. This is my truth. And were not kind to me. They were my biggest bullies, right? I wasn't too worried about the ones at school. I had ones right there in my home, right? And hey, sisters, this isn't me talking shit. I'm just keeping it real because we know the truth, right? And it just is what it is, right? And are we cool now? Sure, absolutely. I don't hold any ill will against my siblings or anything like that. I wish them all well. But the reality is my sisters were not kind to me. They were my biggest bullies. Right. And so it taught me, and my own mother, God rest her soul, was not kind to me. So it taught me that for a long time, I can't trust women. Right. And then when I go to school or to work and to have women hate on me simply for being pretty, intelligent, happy, and other women can often be threatened by that rather than celebratory of that, which is gross, gives me the ick. And at our age, I'm like, if you're still hating on another woman simply for being great, you need to take a look at yourself, boo. Something wrong with you. Oh, 100%. Crystal, I love that. Thank you. Great insight. Right? Crystal, have you ever felt betrayed by another woman?
Never.
Thank you. Moving on.
Somebody is lying through her teeth.
Yeah, I
Lo-
mean, to be honest, like, again, like, going back to this friendship I've had, you know, it's awkward because 'cause we're not friends right now, and I don't wish any ill will, or I wish her the best, and we've had falling out after falling out, and we get back, and I truly believe that, like, the universe brings into your life who you need at the time, right? And
Mm,
so,
amen.
this last time we were friends is when I was going through a lot. I was
Yeah.
my wife was, you know, um relapsed in a mental hospital, like, I was really struggling, and so she was there. She was there through that time, and, she knew everything my whole life, right? We've been friends since we were 12, 13, and so, I didn't have to tell her things. It was like I needed that person there at that time to know how this was affecting me based on my childhood, and then we had a falling out again, which, you know, anyone that knows us could have guessed would happen because that's what happens with us, and,
Mhm.
um, but I think being real and looking at that friendship specifically, like, I've been betrayed and I was the betrayer, right? Like,
Yeah.
when you're in an unhealthy friendship, you're unhealthy too. It's not one way, right? Like, let's be
Preach.
honest.
Preach, sister.
Like,
Love
if you've grown enough to look back at yourself, be like, "Yeah, that was fucked up. I shouldn't have done that."
that.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Right.
I that was all I knew, right? I
Yeah.
didn't know I could be better. I didn't know how to be better. I didn't
Mm.
know how to, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
how to be one who could keep secrets. I didn't know how to be loyal. I didn't know how to be one who stood up for people. I
Mm.
never taught that. I never saw that happen. So, like, now I know better. I do better. I try better, in the
Yeah.
friendships I do have now, right? Um, and I think when you have such a long history of a friendship, it's it's there's been a lot of drama that it's hard to come back from that, you know?
Mhm. Oh,
Um,
absolutely. And you don't know what
yeah,
you don't know until you know.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
once you know, it's up to you at that time to do something
mhm,
different,
yeah.
you know?
Stop the cycle of your own insanity, um, and
Yeah.
then, of course, I'm gay. I've had relationships with women where they've hurt me, like, duh, like,
Mhm.
cheated on, that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. But
Right.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
trail comes
Nice.
with the territory.
It does, it just does. And
It's
it's not about what
human nature.
it is. And it's not about what happens to us, ladies, as much as it is what we do with that. Because at this point in our lives, it's our responsibility to heal that. It's
Yeah.
our responsibility to look at the things, the trials, the tribulations, the past friendships, the past relationships, the past siblingships and relationships with our mothers, including the relationship that we have with ourselves, to reflect on and to learn and to grow from. It's all up to us. And I can't, it wouldn't be fair for me to go around and be like, well, I'm just I'm a bitch to other women because other women were a bitch to me. So I mean, I'm like, that
I don't have
sounds
the
like,
energy anymore.
do you know what I'm saying? Like, and for women who
Like, I'm
have
tired.
you feel me? And for the women who have that energy, like, if you literally give me the ick. What kind of qualities make you feel emotionally safe in friendship? Because safety is a big thing.
Uh, well,
Mhm.
not repeating what's been said,
Hashtag.
empathy, sympathy, compassion,
Mhm. Yep.
not non-judgmental. Like, so when I read that question, I'm like, well, what are the qualities in Adriana that help me feel safe? Right? I've said,
Oh,
I know,
yes.
right? But this is true. Like, I say all of it,
Yeah.
all of it, all
Aw,
of it
that's
that I
cute.
don't say to anybody else.
Yeah.
And, and I either get met with compassion, understanding, validation, solution, listening ear, or or um, just you sitting next to me in
Hmm.
silence,
Same.
you know,
So much. Thanks, bestie.
and you call
I'm
me shit,
trying not to. And
and you
what?
call me on my shit.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I love that you didn't leave that out
Yeah,
because that's what we do.
yeah.
And I love that we do that for each other. I even called her with something, was it 2 days ago? And she literally was like, is that a mirror? And I was like, yes. Right. And it was like, but here's the piece. I need that. I need somebody who knows how to talk to me the way that my best friend does, because I wouldn't take it from other people the same. She knows how to say it to me. She's like, that's a mirror for something. What is that in you? Right. And I'm like, damn, that was really good. Right. And it really does help me self actualize. Right. Which is, I'm so appreciative of that. Like, genuinely. Right. So safety, right. And empathy, and somebody who can just be there, somebody who sees you for you and literally loves you for all of it.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think, Crystal?
I mean, well, ditto.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's all, oh,
Samesies.
moving on, ditto.
um,
Love it.
no, I think the I think for me it's hard to think about. I try to think, and this is gonna sound cheesy, but I think about like the qualities my wife has, because that's my best friend,
Oh,
right? Like, I'm lucky to be a lesbian, so my women friendships, my wife.
yeah.
Um,
Your wife seriously is so badass,
she's
and
a very
she's so
safe person, right?
yeah.
Like, and from the beginning, like, we've had our, ups and downs and whatnot, but even from the beginning, it was like she didn't question my insecurities. She tried to
Mhm.
understand them, right? And so, like, I think having friends that, like you said, like, don't judge, but instead want to know who you are because they want to understand so that they can offer advice, right? Not like
Mhm.
use that against you. And I think also, like, when someone holds you accountable, or not holds you accountable, but like, yeah, tells you like, you might want to
Mhm.
rethink that for, like, this is like the mirror thing, right?
Mhm.
that person not immediately getting defensive, right? Like
Yes.
being able to like
Hear that.
hear that, and I don't know like what quality that is, but whatever that is, because there's been a lot of times where like I try to be like, well, I kind of see, and they're like, what do you mean? You should always, like thinking that
Mm.
you should always be a yes man,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
can make, I'm kind of like, okay, you obviously aren't like wanting to grow or be a better person or like
Right.
improve yourself and take it, realize that nobody's perfect and you're, taking it defensively. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well said. I love you and your wife's relationship. Your wife is such a beautiful person, and truly, anytime I talk to Stevie, I'm always like, "Are you sure you don't want to be a counselor or a therapist? Like, my God, like come be a life coach."
I know.
Because listening to her speak is just so. She just really listens,
She has
So I
she
love
has
your relationship.
really good I mean she was a nurse, right? Like and so her like bedside manner was always there's pictures of her when she was like 3 years old in a doctor's outfit, right? Like she's always
Yeah,
been that
love that.
person. But it's
Mhm.
also double-edged sword, right? Taking care of
Yeah,
everyone else, not yourself, yada yada. So,
so true, so true.
yeah.
Thanks, ladies. I'm curious. Thank you so much to you both. I'm curious why do you guys think that like our childhood wounds or like mother wounds affect our relationships and like how do you think they show up in our female friendship?
I mean, my answer is probably it's like I have a good relationship with my mom, but like
Mhm.
my childhood was different, right?
Mhm.
Uh
Yeah.
I always knew she loved me, right? But it was like just a little chaotic, I guess you could say. Um
Mhm.
but it definitely affected who I bonded with,
Yeah.
right? Like who I chose, who I and it wasn't I don't know how to say this, but like your parents teach you what love looks like,
Yes.
right? And so then you go looking for love in different ways, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's your mom or your dad, like how you raise your kids is how you're showing them what love looks like. And
Mhm.
so that comes out in friendships too, you know?
Mhm.
And so
Absolutely.
I think that um it just wasn't like I never picked the stable ones. Let's put it that way. It's like I needed like you have to have a
Funny.
little chaos in your life to like have me want to be your friend.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, you're a little boring. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. I
I
kind
mean
of liked it.
now in my life, now I'm like,
Mhm.
please don't. I'll like people watch, but like
Yeah.
I don't want that in my like inner sanctum.
Right. You're like, take 10 feet. Go be over there. I'll be your friend from afar. Call me,
Not
but like
even
not too
yeah.
often
Yeah, like no, I won't be your friend. I'll just be
over here.
over here. Yeah.
Karen is so in her head. Look at what Karen, what's going on in there, buddy?
All I can see is
Whoa,
her
where'd you
alien
go?
eyes. That's all I can see. And I'm still sweating. I have so much boob sweat.
These are funny. Ugh.
I think I'm like getting tractor beamed. And
Oh, that is so creepy. Love
I'm
it.
so glad we got you that. It's like the
Yeah,
highlight.
it really is.
I'm just gonna sit like this throughout the rest of the time.
Perfect.
Maybe
Well, I'm
cross
like
out.
thinking
No,
'cause I
let's
never
just
Yeah,
my
thought
lights.
about how the relationships with my mom or my parents affected the relationships with my girlfriends.
yeah,
Only with my romantic relationships. So
100%.
I at this time I don't think I can answer that question.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've never thought
And
about
I
that.
share right? Because and here the reality is unless I mean if you haven't done a whole lot of work around relationships with your parents and how they affect your romantic relationships, we encourage you to do so because they absolutely do. we end up choosing partners who very much so are reminders of home and what home felt like, right? And so we end up choosing partners that are very reminiscent to our parents. But I really appreciate your honesty in saying that we're not sure how that compares to our friendships. I have shared very openly today and all as often as I need to, that unfortunately, God rest her soul, and of course, we healed that relationship before she passed, but my mother was not always kind to me, admitted this, and admittedly so, she admitted this, right? And I was not an angel, right? I was definitely a drug addict. I ran amok and didn't make it easy on her either. But this relationship made me very mistrustful of other women. Because I'm like, if the one person who's supposed to love me the most and have my back and love me unconditionally, loves me with so many conditions, then, then I was so I was daily putting these conditions on myself, and therefore, what do you think I did to my friends? I had really high standards for my friends, right? Like, you have to be like this, and you have to act like this, and you have to do it like this, and you have to, and if I didn't see that, then my cutoff game is quick, sweetie, which is why I kept people at a distance, and I only wanted a few and I only let very few in past that wall, and, honestly, not much has changed in that arena for me, except I don't I feel I think my perspective has changed. I believe that our best friends teach us what unconditional love from somebody who is not your child or a family member is. Like, that to me is unconditional. Like, I love this person unconditionally. And so when people go, "What's unconditional love?" I'm like, "Do you have a best friend?" That's unconditional love. Right? I'm like, and because we have different relationships with our children, that's unconditional love. And some parents, unfortunately, have conditions. Like, I love my kids unconditionally. I love my best friend unconditionally. And I'm now learning to practice that in my romantic relationship, which is that's been like the piece for me that has I've struggled with the most, and that's my truth. So yeah. Wow. Powerful stuff, ladies. One more question, or I have a couple more questions for us. So, um, why do you think that some women struggle to trust other women? Just asking.
What we just talked about.
What is it? Like what? So
Parents,
many
your
things.
mom. I mean, I don't know. I think
Mhm,
there's like going into the like social media, right? Like
mhm,
it's not the best examples out there, right? I think
mhm. For
as
sure.
girls, especially as young girls, it's like I mean, growing up, it was not always a competition, but it was like you still felt you were compared, right? You're always compared to. But um, yeah, I think trust is
Agreed.
hard for any woman, like for friendships, for relationships. So, like, it's
Mhm.
I don't want to get in the weeds about it, but I don't care what men say. It's hard being a woman.
Yeah. Right. Karen, what were you gonna say?
I just think it starts out really young. It just starts
Mhm,
out really young, and now that our kids are introduced to social media and reels and all the
mhm.
things, the crap that they see and how people behave online, and they're subjected to, yeah, I know the shit that I see, you know, um,
Yeah.
um, you know, uh, women sleeping with their friends' boyfriends or comparing themselves beauty beauty things,
Mhm.
or, one being mean to the other, or the violence that, another chick knocking out another chick for whatever reason for saying something. Uh,
Mhm.
someone being excluded because of the way they look or talk, or I don't even know. Whatever they're
Yeah.
saying, whatever they're watching, so, or whatever they're experiencing at school.
Mhm.
Or who knows? They could be experiencing it at home. They could be experiencing that
Yeah.
inside their own home. And then just depending on their life experiences and the people they choose, to have in their life, if they don't choose wisely from the beginning, they're going to
Mhm.
have more of those negative experiences with those kinds of people that are untrustworthy, which are going to pile on those negative experiences that is going to create that more of uh, uh, an untrust in people, and
Yes, agreed.
so
I think it's hard too, like in social media, especially in like, TV, they f- some things, some places, some environments like foster that, like they foster an environment where it's cool to be an asshole. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I
gross.
don't know how to say that, but like,
Yeah,
people getting popular for the wrong reasons, right? Or like
yeah.
people becoming, you know, like,
Like it's cool to be a mean girl.
yeah,
Fuck that.
yeah,
Fuck all of that.
yeah.
to a
Gross.
teacher for no reason or to a parent,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so they want to emulate that, and
Yeah.
um, oh, I can go off on tangent right now.
Oh, right?
I think there's
Yeah.
so much like clickbait out there, right? Like
Mhm.
where it's like when you're a kid and you see that, like you don't realize it's just clickbait. Like now as an adult, I'm just like, whatever, but you
Mhm.
know, if your kids are on
Yeah.
social media, they're seeing that crap too. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
they
And that's
got
our future
they
generation.
have, 100,000 likes on that post when they're,
Yeah.
it's a gang of girls beating up another girl,
Which
right?
is not
and
Like,
they don't
cool.
know
yeah.
it's a
You're
marketing
just
strategy for something or whatever, they don't
Or that it's
understand, right?
AI. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, ladies. Good stuff today. Just out of curiosity, do either of you have any advice that you would give another woman who's trying to build healthier friendships? Do either of you, one of you have any suggestions?
I would say for me, what I've found is like I said, I have friends I've known since kindergarten, right? That are like still
Mhm.
in my life. And I, it's like those friends that are when we see each other, it's just like we pick up where we never left off kind of thing. And
Yes.
I for me, it's like I've been trying to like see those friendships and foster those friendships more than those
Yeah.
ones that like, than having just that one. Like we did a girls trip last year to Palm Springs with like
That's
9 of
awesome.
us, and it was like all my friends from high school and elementary school, and it was just like I hadn't seen some of them since I graduated high school, you know.
That's dope.
And so it was so much fun. We had a blast. We all got along, like
It's amazing.
we just
Yeah.
caught up and had 4 days to just do nothing. So like find those like look if you're feeling like you don't have that close person, like look around. You just might not be putting the energy into those people,
Right.
you know?
Thank you. Good stuff, Crystal. Karen, what about you?
Say,
Any thoughts or
yeah,
suggestions?
sit back and watch how others treat others when other people aren't really looking, right? Attention
Mm,
to see if somebody talks poorly or meanly about other people when they're not in their presence, or if they speak highly of
yeah.
people and raise people up. Those are the people you want to hang out with.
Yeah. I love that. Great advice. And for me, I want to say be yourself, be 100% yourself, and your people will find you. And people who talk shit about you and don't like you are not your fucking people. How about that?
And
Okay.
sometimes your new friends can be in their 60s like me. 'Cause
Age doesn't matter.
mm-mm,
Nope. Not when it comes to friendship, baby.
mm-mm.
For
No, I
sure.
love my old ladies. Shout out to my old ladies.
Love that. Shout out. Holla.
My Thursday night ladies.
Bunko
So,
ladies. No,
ladies, yeah,
And they
Funko.
hate when I call them the old ladies. They're like, "We're not old." I'm like, 20
dog
years older than
compared
me.
to me.
Just saying,
Makes me feel
you're
young.
old, but a good one. So, ladies, and thank you to our audience. This wraps another powerful conversation here on the Ener-She Podcast. We hope that today's episode truly reminded you of that healthy female friendships and relationships are not built through perfection. They're built through honesty, healing, accountability, empathy, and growth. The right women in your life, they won't compete. They won't compete with your light. They'll help you shine even brighter. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. And if this episode resonated with you, Make sure to share it with another woman who may need this conversation. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or even follow along for more real, raw healing conversations. I'm your host, along here with my amazing co hosts, Crystal and Karen. I'm Adriana, reminding you to protect your peace, honor your growth, and awaken that powerful woman within. Until next time, see ya.
Ding ding.